I'm Bessie. I still remember that moment in the hospital conference room when everything came to a head. Daniel, with a calm yet menacing look, stood before me, and I knew that the truth was about to shatter my world. It all started on a cold winter day. I was in the nursery, folding small towels into the drawer. The wind outside carried the scent of the first snow, and my phone vibrated. On the screen, it was the Colorado State Patrol. The message said, "Mrs. Thompson, your husband, Ethan Reed, has just been taken to stay. Mercy." My world tilted at that moment. I held on to the edge of the crib to steady myself, and the officer's voice on the phone was hesitant, as if he was afraid to break something inside me. And then he said, "And his wedding ring wasn't on his hand when we found him." I don't know how I managed to get to the car. The snow was falling heavily, and each flake on the windshield felt like a piece of my broken memory. The drive to the hospital was torture. Every red light, every slow car, and every ambulance siren felt like a test of my last bit of calm. When I arrived at the hospital, the smell of disinfectant mixed with the cold air hit me. I went to the intake desk and asked about Ethan. The nurse told me he was in the temporary observation bay and that the passenger with him was also brought in. When I saw the name on the form Ava Hill, a neighbor who always brought me warm cookies, a cold rush hit my chest. I followed the nurse's directions to the room. As I walked, the air in the hallway felt strange, and my belly, with the baby inside, seemed to sense the danger and kicked frantically. When I finally reached the room, I saw Ethan on the bed with his left arm in a brace, looking pale. And on the other bed was Ava, with her right leg bandaged, her hair a mess, and her eyes swollen from crying. Between the two beds stood Ryan Hill, Ava's husband. He turned when he heard me enter. His voice was low and steady. "Finally, it's happened." Those words were like a needle piercing my heart. I asked him what he meant, but he just said that Ethan had given him a USB drive 2 weeks ago and told him to give it to me if something happened. I was confused and scared. Ryan explained that Ethan had discovered something dangerous about the building's management board. There was money being siphoned off, and someone didn't want him to know the truth. Ava then said that her sister, Lily, had gone missing 6 months ago, and she thought it was related to the money laundering. She and Ethan were trying to find out what was going on. I was still trying to process all this when Ethan woke up. The first thing he said was, "Bessie, don't go back to the apartment. Don't go home." I asked why, and Ava whispered that someone had tried to kill him, not because of her. We then watched the video on the USB drive. It showed a man in a black hoodie opening Ethan's car in the underground parking garage. Ethan said they were planting something to make the engine start, and they did it because he knew too much. Later, we found out that Ryan had some suspicious behavior. When we were in the conference room with a federal agent, Ethan's phone showed that a crucial message had disappeared. Ava also slipped me a note that said "Don't trust." And a receipt from an ATM showed that Ryan had received $4,000 on the day of Ethan's first incident. When I confronted Ryan, he finally admitted that he had hired someone to scare Ethan because he thought Ethan was having an affair with Ava. But he didn't expect things to go so far. I quickly recorded his confession on my phone. When the agent returned, I played the recording, and Ryan tried to escape but was quickly caught. After that, the money laundering ring was dismantled. Ryan was arrested along with 3 maintenance personnel from the building. Ava was cleared, and the police reopened Lily's case with new leads from Ryan's confession. Ethan healed slowly but steadily. He apologized to me for hiding the investigation, saying he thought it would keep me and the baby safe. I understood his reasons. A few weeks later, I gave birth to our baby. Ethan held the baby gently, and I knew that we had survived this storm together. The experience had taught me that no matter how difficult life gets, as long as we have each other, we can face anything. Looking back, I realize that life can change in an instant. But through it all, I've learned the importance of trust, family, and standing up for the truth. And I'm grateful that I have Ethan and our newborn baby by my side, ready to face whatever the future holds. Now, as I sit here, holding my baby in my arms, I know that this is the true beginning of our family. We've overcome so much, and I'm confident that we can build a safe and happy life together.